So as I've told you guys before, I read every single comment that comes through YouTube for this channel, and I occasionally write down those comments because there's something that I think should be addressed here. There's one particular comment that I've seen over and over and over again, and I think it's time to address it, at least from my point of view. This is not necessarily the right point of view, but this is where I'm coming from. Here's the comment in a nutshell. And without calling anybody out, because it's been a question that's been asked a lot, here it is. God gives freely, man patents and sells for profit. So this is a really controversial topic. Some people, it seems like a 50-50 split to me when I read the comments, but some people on this side over here are saying this is absolute heresy. Like, who can possibly take a plant that God created that belongs to nature and patent it and claim rights to it and then sell it for their own financial gain? And then on the other side over here, people are looking at this and going, you know what, this person worked hard to achieve this and they have every right to collect profits for themselves. So I want to just take a minute and talk about why this is even a thing, patenting plants, and how it could possibly be ethical. So first of all, I personally have no patented plants. That has nothing to do with my feelings on the subject. I just have not hybridized any plants myself. I have thoughts of hybridizing plants. I have thoughts of different rhododendrons that might go really well together to breed an exceptional variety based on traits like blooms and growth habit, cold hardiness, that kind of thing. But I have never personally done this. So now that that's out of the way, let's address the two sides of the aisle that have strong feelings either way. And remember, this is just my opinion. So let's address the side that says God created all plants and it shouldn't be right to patent them for your own profit. If we take that thought and we trace it back all the way before industry and technology, what we find is a planet that is entirely created by God, and I'm talking several thousands of years ago, before man came along and started hybridizing plants and creating crops for their own gain, whether it be just for a food source or their own financial gain. There was just the earth that God created, if you believe in God. If you don't, then you believe evolution created it. Either way, it was created by something outside of man. And all you have on that earth are plants, animals, water, dirt, all the basics that go into making up this earth, which was created by God. Therefore, if you're going to choose that theory and hold strong and fast to it, you also have to look forward and see that anything that has come since then has been created by man, most of which has been exploited for a profit, including your toilet paper, the vehicle you drive, your cell phone, your house, your dishes, your food, plants, and anything else that you use in your daily life, your toothbrush, your toothpaste, and on and on and on. All of these things originated from the earth that God created. So in my crazy brain of deductive reasoning, I'm thinking, if you're going to be upset by the fact that plants are patented and then sold for a profit, you would have to also be upset by the fact that anything on this planet that you use that was not created originally by God but was created by man and sold at a profit, you would have to believe that that is wrong as well. You would have to, and to be consistent with that thinking, not use those items and not contribute to that theory or that way of life. So it can get pretty weird if you really start buying into a certain philosophy about a subject. Okay, so let's go over to the other side of the aisle, and that is those people who patented those plants have every right to patent it. They have every right to gain a profit from it. Now, this is just my opinion, but that's the side of the aisle that I lean towards. And the way it works is this: God, or evolution, did not create that particular plant that one person or a group of people or a company bred together to create. It's a new hybrid that did not formerly exist on this planet without interference by those humans or that company. It took a ton of time for those people to hybridize that particular plant. They had to breed. So let's just take a rhododendron for example. First, you have to actually understand the concepts of breeding plants together without getting outside genetics involved. So if you have two different rhododendrons, but you've got 300 varieties of rhododendrons, you've got to figure out how to isolate the pollen and the flower of the other one and put them together so that no other outside influences can get involved. And there are methods to do that, but they have to actually go through that process. Then you have to wait all summer for those seeds to develop, and then you have to plant the seeds, see what germinates, and then grow out hundreds, maybe thousands of plants and see which ones actually perform the best or achieve what you're trying to get, the results that you're trying to get out of the two different varieties that you've bred together. And then it's not over. And by the way, these rhododendrons take years to get to that point from a seedling. So you've got years of invested time in this. This did not come naturally from the earth. This is something that man has spent years creating. And so once you get through all those years, maybe 7 years before one of them blooms, and you see what the blooms look like, or the traits, the growth traits, the cold hardiness, all these different things, and you find the one plant out of 1,000 that you were looking for, then it doesn't end. You have to back cross it, and you have to rebreed this plant, or back cross it to a parent, or breed it with itself, and do several inbreeding lines over time, over years, in order to get a stable plant that you know you can work with going forward and get almost identical plants from the seeds. Or you could take a cutting of that one particular plant and then it ends there and you've got your new variety. But either way, it takes years to get to this point. So just like a rocking chair that you might have bought at a furniture store originally was a tree, and then somebody came along and they cut the tree down and they turned that tree into a rocking chair. They used their own hands, they used their time, they used their skills, and they were able to generate an income for themselves and their family with those skills and their time, and turn that into a rocking chair and sell it. Somebody else came along and spent their time and their skills turning two different plants that were species that existed on this earth that God created, and hybridized them and created something that does not exist in nature. Just like the rocking chair, they don't grow out of the soil. And then they took that plant, that new plant that you've never seen before, and they sell it to you. They have every reason to patent that plant. What they're doing is they're protecting their time and their skill and their knowledge and their efforts, what came from their own hands, to provide a profit and an income for their own family. So when you see a patented plant, there's a lot more behind it than just somebody trying to profit off of God's creation. It just so happens that what they're selling is plants and not a rocking chair or cell phones. But the end result is the same, or the path is the same. They've got to use their time, their skills, their labor, their knowledge, everything that goes into creating that rocking chair, that cell phone, that car, that toothbrush, that toothpaste, that plant for you. So that's really the best and easiest way I could sum that up. I felt like it needed to be said in a video because I see that comment a lot, and I know people get passionate about this subject, and it's like a 50-50 split, and you're either far on this side or you're far on this side, and I'm just trying to bring the two sides together and help understand what's going on with this. So I hope that helps answer questions for either side. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to follow along. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.